we want to put across.
It's a win-win thing. So how many awards are we talking about here? I mean, is there like a brass ring? I mean, is there like a top award and you've got a lot of sub-awards for different categories? How does this work?
There's a total of 10 awards. There's one at the premier side, there's the Top Employer Award. There's another one for the Overall Executive Leadership Team Award. There's one for the Most Admired Board of Directors Award. There's the Finance Award. A range of things, something for everybody, I guess.
And you've got this powerhouse group of people, some of whom you mentioned a few minutes ago, who are all really sifting through these lists of companies, of nominees, and really finding the best ones and really judging who deserves to be the winner in each of these categories.
Correct. So they send a lot of information about the work that they have done and the people that they've employed and the success they've had and so forth, and then we judge who seems the best.
Yeah, go. Please, continue.
So for instance, Manny Pangilinan, who everyone knows, won the Global Filipino Executive Award last year. That was a big, and he there was quite a range of people who submitted, but he stood up so much with the others that he won the award, as a for instance. Another one was BDO won the Overall Executive Leadership Award last year. You know, coming from 10 years ago, they were a small, middle-sized bank to now the largest bank in the country, leading edge in so many ways and so forth. So it gives you an example.
How much emphasis do you guys put on CSR, corporate social responsibility, and let's say environmental concerns? How big an impact does it have on the awards?
It's a key aspect of it. The people that how many people they employ, whether they grow and employ new people, of course. Their CSR activities, very, very important, what they do for their employees and for people in their neighborhoods and so forth. Very, very important. The green aspect, all of these kinds of things. I don't know if you know some of these characters, like June Palafox, who's known as a green, guy, right? So he really pushes that one, and so he should. Also, Bernie Villegas, of course, very interested in that kind of. Francis Estrada, another one, of course, right? So each judge has certain areas that they focus on and convince others of their importance. So between us, we think we have a good range of issues that we try, but we want it to be a holistic award, not just did you make money. It's got to be did you make money the right way, responsibly. Did you help others to improve their situation, so forth. So it has to be a holistic achievement.
So the judges actually have, each judge has his own, let's say, a certain aspect he's tasked to look at, and then they probably have a certain grading scale, and they all come together. There is a system to this, right? When you grade a company, an actual grading system.
There is, but we're human, and there is subjective. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But certainly, Francis Estrada has a strong background in banking. So if it's something financially related, we'll often rely, on his background. If it's an American company, the American guy might have some inside knowledge about it. June Palafox, of course, in the construction and engineering and associated real estate, he has a lot of information about that as well. So these kinds of things all come together. So there's both the hard technical side of it, but there's also the subjective side and are they nice people and do they do nice things? That kind of thing is very important.
You got to look at the entire package. I guess,
absolutely.
when you analyze an organization, a company. It's really the people behind it and what they do.
Correct.
Yes. Now let's talk about the history. How long has this Asia CEO Awards been running?
Well, it's the second year now, and it's become what we believe to be one of the largest business awards events of its kind in the Asia-Pacific region. We want to make it the largest in the Asia. We want to really put Philippines on the map because everybody's watching us. So we want to really look good for this with this kind of a award. But it's come out through another regular event we run called the Asia CEO Forum, which is a monthly forum. So we've been running that for maybe 3-4 years now.
What goes on during these fora?
Yeah, you want to hear all this? Okay.
Sure. I mean, it's very. I think it's very interesting. I'm sure viewers do also. Yeah.
All right. Well, once a month or so. It's probably more often than that these days. But we have, fairly high-level people from people who've done good work in Philippines or the region to come to speak about their industry, about trends that they see, and how it impacts to Philippines.
How many people or how many companies participate in these monthly fora?
Generally one at a time. So we've had, I don't know if you want me to give you examples, but we've had fairly, the fellow who runs SPI Global,
okay.
a large business process outsourcing operation here, something we claim is Philippines' most global company. It's become a very, a key organization in its sectors throughout the world. Filipinos run that from Philippines and direct of operations in India, China, Vietnam, throughout the U.S., Latin America. And it's quite an impressive story. We recently had the head of Jones Lang LaSalle, the largest real estate advisory organization in Asia. He came in from the region to speak along with...
Which is one of the major sponsors, I understand, of the Asia CEO Awards.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about the highlights of this year's event.
Sure.
Tell us a bit about what's going to happen and when is it going to happen and where.
The event is next Thursday, so that's November the 10th of next week in the evening at the Marriott Hotel. The Grand Ballroom, we're going to fill the place. We have people coming from all over Asia to attend and other parts of the world, I guess. We will have, for entertainment, Martha Joy, a star of Canadian Idol, Filipino-Canadian, yes, to sing, and some others as well. There will be, different, but the focus is the awards. So we will have, what I would say are the most successful business people operating in Philippines there to receive awards, to be highlighted.
Is there a short list for the top prize? Are you at liberty to disclose the short list?
If I can't remember all of them on the top of my
just,
head.
the main ones, the most prominent ones on the list.
Yeah. Well, there's some companies like one company that comes to mind is a company called Convergys.
Of course.
Which has become, starting from 6 years or so ago with employing 0 people in Philippines, they now employ about 30,000 or so.
It's a huge company.
The largest private sector employer in the country. So that, to the judges, said, well, this is something. They've put people to work. They give them quality jobs. They're well paid and these kinds of things, not just in Metro Manila, but all across the country. So very, very important, for this kind of a success to be recognized. So they're one of our finalists for a job.
Very inspiring. It just shows people that you can make it and you could be successful and still play the good game,
Absolutely. Another company is a company called Hitachi. They make hard disk drives and these electronics things here. Yes. An industry that many people thought would all move to China. But that hasn't happened, and more. This is an example of one company that is actually moving work from China
back
to
the
Philippines.
Or to the Philippines.
Yeah, no, but actually that's not quite fair because they're moving their low-end work to China, but their high-end work where they need trained people who are stable in their jobs and committed and loyal to their companies, they need that in Philippines. And so they're moving their high-value work here. I think 3 or 4 years ago they employed maybe 3,000 people. Now they're on track to employ 9,000 or 10,000 people. So a tremendous success, and they've set Philippines as one of they're the global site for these certain components that they manufacture. So a good story.
Excellent.
Yes.
Very inspiring, and we all look forward to the Asian CEO Awards next Thursday. That's November 10th at Resorts World. Richard, would you like to say something to the audience before we go?
What should I say? Well, we really appreciate doing our work in Philippines. I know this Asia CEO Awards event is meant to be a collaboration between international business people like myself and senior Filipino business people. And it has been an absolute pleasure to work with these people and the results that we have had. So I really, the message I can put to Filipinos is, and we were just talking about this a second ago, buddy, is that in the past, Philippines has had been